It's Finish It Friday. I'm stitching it my way. Just wanna be sitting with needles and knitting. Hello, hello. Yes, I am recording this video for Finish It Friday. Yay, we made it to Friday. So say hello in the comment section. Let me know what your latest FO finished object is. Did you just finish knitting a blanket, crocheting a scarf, to quilt, embroidery, cross stitch? Maybe you just worked a puzzle. I don't know. Hey, maybe you just finished a project at work and that's all you got, and that's okay. All right, just getting through the end of the week. Sometimes that's all we can ask for. Alrighty. So, let me know where you're watching from, what your current whip is, what's on the needles, what's on the hook. All right, well, today's FO for me finished object is it's a free pattern from Lion Brand Yarn. It's called the Whiter Shade of Pale Carco. Yeah, and this project is crocheted up in the Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick. Now they use I think it's a color called Fisherman, which is like maybe a white or off-white. Of course, I had to go with Celebration, right? We had to add a little bling, a little sparkle to mine. And when they say thick and quick, that is not a lie, my friends. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this is a great one. Get it on and off the hook in just a matter of days. You work it up on I worked mine up on a 9mm crochet hook. I would have had it done in 3 days, but well, I was making myself practice a new technique and not at all surprised I messed up, so, took me 3 more hours the next morning. Yeah, but that's okay, right? That was me learning something that I'm not very good at, but getting better at it. So let's get into this. Okay, if you're a returning viewer, I've been knitting for like 16 years. I love to design my own knit projects. I've been crocheting for, over a year now, but I'm still not very good at crochet. I still have a lot to learn when it comes to crochet. And one of the things that I really am wanting to learn when I knit, I try to do everything that I can in the round. I am not good at seaming at all. I've tried it once or twice with knitting. Never been good at it, okay? It is not pretty. And if you're a returning viewer, you probably know why. And hey, thank you for your patience while I introduce myself to anybody who might be new to my channel. Hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, completely colorblind. I knit and crochet by feel. And so for me, on knit projects, lining up those seams, keeping them straight, keeping this just exactly right and even, and getting them stitched up together has been nothing but a headache. Okay, it's just woo. So I try to avoid it whenever I can. But with crochet, I definitely know the stitches are bigger. I've done it successfully once or twice. Not perfect, but, feel pretty good about it. So this project definitely challenged me. It's something that I wouldn't have taken on in a knit project. No way. It's technically 7 pieces, but hey, one's a belt, right? So I don't know. There was no seaming involved with the belt, right? This is the belt. Nothing fancy there. But it's 6 pieces that you have to put together. You have a back panel, and then you have a left and right front panel. You have your 2 sleeves, and then you have your ribbed collar. Okay, so you make these 6 6 pieces separately, and then you have to seam them all together. Okay, and all of the body pieces except for the collar, this is really simple. It really is. Don't be intimidated, okay? I really, really, really want to understand garment construction better when it comes to crochet. And since I work by feel, working with the smaller yarns is hard for me. And so I thought this was going to be a great project, right? If you're working by feel, this is a number 6 super bulky yarn. Look at the the size of those stitches, okay? These are my single crochets on my cuff and my sleeve. Look at the size. You can easily, I can stick my whole index finger into those. So when you're working by feel, this is a great project to practice seaming on. You can feel every single stitch. You can line them up perfectly. I knew working with a number 6 super bulky was going to be the way to go for me to really get practice and gain confidence at seaming all these different pieces together. Because let me tell you, if this was a knit project, I would have either said forgive it, or I would have totally reconstructed the whole thing. I would have revamped the pattern, made it top down, raglan seamless, done the sleeves in the round, right, connected the body, I mean, in the round. I would not have even thought like, yeah, you're gonna seam those sleeves together. I do all my sleeves in the round. I hate seaming sleeves, okay? But I did it with the crochet. Now the body itself, it really is simple. You make your chain, and then the whole thing is just your double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That's the whole project, except for your single crochets on your cuffs and your hem and your ribbing and your seaming. The whole thing, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Bing, bang, boom. Fast, fun, and easy. Okay, this project is fast, fun, and easy. Yeah, it is. So, yeah, it is. Like I said, the body itself, not hard at all. It goes super, super fast on a 9 milli. And then it's the seaming that slowed me down. Okay, making the pieces was like done, done, done. It was making, honestly, the most time-consuming part of making this cardi for me was the ribbing on the collar. Okay, going up and down the front. This ribbing took me a long time to do. So, but everything else wasn't that hard. No, I am playing around with different types of seaming. So for my shoulder seams, I literally just slip stitched them, okay? I held them parallel and then stuck that 9 millimeter hook in there in between them and just boom, 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 slip stitched them. Now, obviously, the seams were pretty chunky on this is on the inside, okay? This is what it looks like on the outside. So, you know, I don't think it looks bad from the outside. I really don't. It's definitely chunky on the inside. So when it came to the side seams, I did say to myself, I'm like, you got to try something different. I didn't want to, because slip stitching is easy. I can do that. But I did go ahead and whip stitch my side seams. Because I do know how to whip stitch. I whip stitch waistbands and knit skirts all the time. I'm like, you know how to whip stitch, right? So I made myself do it, and I think it looks, this is the inside. It's definitely not as chunky, right? If you whip stitch it, you're not going to have that big chunky seam like when you slip stitch. And I do think it looks better from the outside as well. And of course, you can do mattress stitch. There's all kinds of ways that you can seam. I wasn't even going to try to do mattress stitch. I'm like, I've tried that so many times with knitting. Can't do it. So for me, you know, as someone who's new to garment construction, I can honestly say this is a project that you could slip stitch or you can whip stitch the seams, and I think it's going to look okay. I really do. I think mine looks okay. So yeah, and I made myself do the sleeves, and it wasn't that hard. It was like, for me, I did my pieces, right? I did my backs, I did my fronts, I did my sleeves. And then I went and did the shoulder seams first. To me, that just made the most sense for me to do my shoulder seams first and then have it lined up better, and then to go ahead and do the set-in sleeves so that I could have a point at the top to work with and a point at the bottom and line them up. So that's just what I do. I did not put in stitch markers, but you certainly could. If you're working by feel a lot more and you're brand new, like the few times that I've seamed with knitting, you could certainly put like a stitch marker in each top and bottom and help hold that in place exactly where you want it. For me, you know, I have to check it and feel it regularly, but I was able to seam this together and I think it looks okay. So I loved it. This was really fun. I like it. I'm super excited to wear it this fall. I know some people tell me I shouldn't wear a big white coat in the fall. I'm gonna wear it. I don't care who says you can't wear white after Labor Day. I'm wearing it this fall, okay? This is fun and I'm excited about it. Now the one thing is the collar, okay? So the collar is ribbed. And it is done with you make your chain of like 11, and then you single crochet it, and then you single crochet in the back loop. As somebody who's visually impaired, I have done this. I've done it before with a DK weight yarn, which definitely was time consuming for me to feel, right? The back, find each stitch by feel, and then separate it for the back loop. On this yarn with the super bulky, it's really easy to feel for me how to find that back loop. It went much faster. So I can honestly say, if you're trying to learn that technique, right, don't be like me and start with a DK weight. Start with something like this with the super bulky. Okay, so they have you do this whole ribbed piece in one big piece separate from the garment, and then they want you to sew it on. So starting at your left, and you need to pick a piece that goes all the way across the back of the neck and down the right side and make it, and then sew it on separately. Well, not too long ago, right, I was doing a video on the August yarn of the month for crochet.com. We crochet, and it was the wool of the Andes. And so I decided I should learn how to put ribbing on the bottom of that baby hat. And so I learned that new technique where you do your chain, and then you single crochet in the back loop down it, and then you do a chain one, and then you work back down that chain, and then you slip stitch twice into the edge of your garment. Okay, so I said in that video openly, I'm like, I don't think I did it right. And I didn't, but I was working by feel. It was my first time to do it, and I did, I'm sure, slip stitch into the stitch that I just worked. And you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to slip stitch 2 over. And so I definitely, this would have been a better project for me to learn how to do that on. So that's what I made myself practice, that technique where I started my chain out. I think I should have actually started it on the right. I started mine on the left from the inside. Yeah. And there was no instruction on that because that was just something I was like, nope, you need to practice this, right? You need to get better at this technique. You want to get better at it. So I just made that decision that this was going to be the sweater that I practiced that technique on. I think if you want to practice that technique and save yourself the sewing of the ribbing on, this is a great project to do it. But this is where I had to do a bunch of frogging. I had it entirely done in 3 days, except for the belt pretty much. And then I was like, oh, I tried it. And I had tried it on, and I still have about a foot left to go on the left side. And I thought, it's going great. It's working. And then I reverted back to that, my issue I had with that first hat, where I slip stitched into the stitch that I just came out of. And it really adds a lot more ribbing. It like flared out. It really made it rounded. Now, I mean, I know I've paid a lot of good money for some tops and skirts that are asymmetrical, okay? And it definitely kind of gave it that rounded, like I thought, ooh, I could put like some buttons on the left side and we could just button it and make it like a double-breasted coat or something. I did entertain that with the big old bulge. I was like, how would that look? Okay, but I knew and I'd already even tied it off. I tied it off tight. And it's like, the one time when you want your knot to come out, right? The one time when you want to unravel that project. Oh my goodness. It took forever for me to pick at that knot. But I did get it undone. I did frog. I did have to rip out. I waited till the next morning. I'm like, go to bed and think on it. You're way too tired, right? Got up in the morning. Hit it at 5 o'clock in the morning and frogged about a third of the collar back up to the right side, probably about to the armpit of the right side. And then it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I really hadn't had enough coffee yet. So I started working on it, and then I got, like a big chunk of it done. And I was like, oh, that's right. You were single crocheting in the back loop. I'd completely forgotten. Yeah. So then I had to frog all that. Yeah, should have had more coffee. And then go back and redo it. But I'm super, super happy with it. Really glad that I took the time to frog it and redo it, even though it took me about 3 hours to really redo that the next day. Yeah, I think so if you want to practice that technique, I would say this is a great project to practice it on, even though I might have got mine on the wrong side. I might have actually should have, started on the right and worked over, but I'm kind of weird that way. I don't know. I don't think it looks terrible. I'm not really sure which side of this is on the inside. Maybe this was supposed to be on the outside. Maybe it left a little bit of a chunky seam on the outside. It's entirely possible that some people might think that my seam along here where I was working should be on the inside. But you know what? We got such a big, chunky, textured rib going on. I think it just adds to it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I could be wrong. I can't really see it, but I think it feels cool. So anyways, that's the finished object, the FO for the week. I will say if you want to gain confidence and learn about garment construction with crochet, or if you're somebody like me who's visually impaired and you got to work by feel, this is a great intro to garment construction. This is a great work by feel project because it's worked in a number 6 super bulky, because you're working with a 9 milli. And it really helped, even though I messed up on the collar, it really did help me build my confidence. Well, I'm like, okay, I understand now garment construction. I can try to redo this and replicate this process by feel on smaller yarns, right? I can do like a 5, a bulky, or a 4 worsted and really understand better the mechanics, what I'm doing, how to put pieces together. So yeah, highly recommend this. Fast, fun, and easy. And I don't crochet that fast, okay? And I got it done in like 3 days. So I think this could definitely be like a weekend project for somebody. If you're a fast crocheter, you could probably get this thing done in a weekend, really. Yeah, so I'm loving it. So let me know in the comment section. Have you made this project before? You know, I mean, do you like fast, fun, and easy? Like, I love to knit with like the DK, the fine yarns, and the sport way, even the fingering way. But as somebody who crochets by feel, I'm really gaining a great appreciation of the 5s and the 6s, okay? I might be looking for some more crochet projects to do, to work up in super bulky, because this was fun. Yeah, I'm wanting to understand that more, and I think that I gained a lot of knowledge and skills working up this project. Gained some confidence too, despite my little mishap with the collar. Really gained some confidence. Really feel good about the way that my seams came out. Yeah, so I want to hear from you. If you've worked it, do you like it? Do you like to work with the super bulkies? Do you sometimes like to get out a fast, fun, and easy project? I mean, I'll work a fingering weight project for a month. I will. I'll knit up a fingering weight project that'll take me a month. I will. But sometimes you just need that, right? You just need something that you can just like boom, boom, boom. It's done. It's on and off the hook in no time. So this was it for me. Yeah, and it's making me really happy, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. So let me know what your thoughts are on the project. Is it something that you want to try in the future? Because if you're new, highly recommend it for skill building. Alrighty, my friends. Well, let me know what you're up to this weekend, right? Are you doing any more traveling? Are you hanging out at home? How's it going for you? Okay. Well, you know what I like to end with in my videos. Creativity is for everybody, whether you see or you see like me or you don't see at all. Creativity is for you. And whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or weaving or whatever it is that you do, today is a great day to craft and create. Thanks so much for listening. And until next time, bye-bye for now. Happy stitching. Want to see the project? Hang on. I'll put you on pause and let you see it. Okay, here is the project in the light. I know some people need light. See, here it is. You start at the bottom of each piece. The single crochet, I did mess up my single crochet a little bit on the bottom. I got too many in there. I'll be the first to admit it. I got too many single crochets in on the trim. But you make your chain, and then all of this, you work into your chain, and the whole thing is just double crochet, chain one, double crochet. Fast, fun, easy V stitches. Yeah, and that's the collar, and like I said, that's where I made myself do where you attach it as you go. Okay, hang on. You want to see it on? Yeah, that's what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with it. It's warm. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Except for, yeah, I got just a few too many single crochets on the hem. Other than that, though, happy with it overall. Alrighty, everyone. Well, again, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.